Hello? There we go. Hello. I want to make sure. Can you guys all talk for me for a second? It's not doing. Whoa, why is that not doing the thing? What the crap? One second. Oh, I'm dumb. I know exactly what I need to do.
On foot with your invasion allowing thing on, and you're not allowed to rest at any sites of grace. You're not allowed to refill your health potions by other means than typically. It sounds like it'd be so much fun.
You just gotta run.
Yeah, just run. It'll be beautiful until you get invaded.
All right, I think I forgot to put audio in for you guys because I was dumb. I didn't remember how I did it. But we're here. We're live, and we got it going. I think I'm live everywhere.
Yay.
Everywhere seems to be streaming good. So yeah, we're back with Hone. We haven't played in a couple weeks. I'll do a recap for you guys because I doubt you remember where we were.
I don't remember where we
I
were.
actually do.
Oh, that's
We
the
were
thing.
in a primordial place, and we were in this one area that had like two kind of controls, and we accidentally caused part of a crystal thing to crack because it was relating to Tex's backstory.
You're looking for
Yeah.
an item for Texas backstory. It's this weird, strange blue crystal that is connected to two different systems. It seems one
We shocked
system
you
has
live.
a large pipe with what seems to be like some sort of fluid, this sparkly fluid that as you change dials, it seems to become energetic and change color, become more violent, and the crystal begins to produce more energy. You've Artemis found that out the hard way because she was shot with like radiation.
Artemis.
Or
You
sorry,
mean Kilana?
Kilana. That's the wrong person.
Same player.
Yeah, same player, wrong
player.
character.
Wrong campaign.
Yeah, but she was shot and basically had radiation poisoning.
I'm sorry.
And then you guys went to the other side of the building and found some form of control panel. You sent out a message to Fawny requesting information. I believe that was Tex that did it, or was
Yeah.
that Tex?
Yeah.
Contact with the plane.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and you got a little bit of information. You learned basically there seems to be a button that turns off the control panel. You don't know if it's exactly safe to do, so you ask Fawny, and Fawny goes, maybe.
Maybe.
He doesn't.
You're like, I don't fucking know.
How he says it, it provides a confidence that no, it's not going to kill you if you do, but it could be dangerous if you do it wrong, essentially. So it might be worth investigating a little bit more. You learn what this item is. It's a rare magical item. It all seems to be connected back to Lair, but you don't know exactly how. But it also has a connection to Tex, which is a very strange idea.
I'm just
He still
bullying
wants
like that.
B still wants to eat Lair.
So
Well, I'm not gonna stop her.
I don't think anyone's going to.
I'm gonna encourage her.
She
Munch,
absorbs it.
crunch, munch, crunch.
She
So-
just absorbs him and she gains all the power and she's like, whoa.
Corrupted in 2 seconds.
What are you guys looking to do?
Okay, so I think from last time we were basically just, do we even want to bother trying to
Twist
reactivate
some
this thing?
knobs, pull some levers.
Yeah.
So the thing is activated. The switch you guys were looking at was an off switch, it seemed like a kill switch almost. So it's already activated. Whatever it's doing, it's going. So you don't
Cool.
exactly know what its purpose is. You just know it's active.
And there's a control panel in the room we're in right now.
Currently, yes, there's a control panel. Two of them. One looks like it's mostly diagnostics or like messing with settings almost. You don't know what it would do or even if it controls anything. The other one seems to be more of a power grid system or some sort of control panel.
All right. Real quick, why are we here again?
Protect.
Yeah, Tex, you guys, last time you found one of these, there was weapons and items in there that had a very heavy presence with Tex. You guys used them to try and find out more about Tex's background. Learned a little bit, but not exactly much, but you have hints of ideas of things Tex's past and memories. But you don't know where it's going to go from there. You don't know what's going on. So you need more powerful, hopefully more connected magic to really tie it together.
All right.
Oh God. I'm sorry, I just made a character realization.
Huh?
B is my Aureliana. Tim doesn't know who that is, but it's okay. It's Leah's character in my campaign.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that one.
I don't think B's horny enough.
You know what? You got a point.
Fair enough.
It's Leah. That's to be
It's
expected.
B just wants
B
to
is
eat.
like innocently chaotic, and Aureliana is maliciously chaotic.
Yeah. Chaotic
you
with
call
malicious.
horny?
intent.
Chaotic good versus chaotic neutral in a nutshell.
What'd you say, Tim?
What do you call horny for food? Because that's what B is.
Hungry.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
Just hungry.
Yeah. So yeah,
B just wants to eat.
what do you guys want to do? Are you gonna try to figure out anything about this? You want to make any checks? You want to try to piece together information? What are we looking at? What are we thinking?
I don't know if I can make any checks regarding this because Near
Well,
Earth is dumb.
You can always make a check and see if your intuition, natural 20. Sorry about the crash. I don't know what's up with that. There we go. That should be better. All right. So yeah, back to it though. So yeah, you guys, nothing happened while the stream crashed. I booted up quickly. But yeah, you guys don't really have anything specific you have in mind, I guess, or what are you thinking about?
He
Oh.
stares. He stares.
Your little portrait.
Who is that?
It's
It's
like
Lovecraft.
looks like
It's H.P.
Mark
Lovecraft.
Zuckerberg.
It looks like Zuckerberg.
Yeah, it looks like Mark Zuckerberg.
It's H.P. Lovecraft. Which
Not as crazy as
honestly
him.
is- I don't know.
I don't know how I feel about him being in my room. What are we thinking? What do you guys want to inspect? Tim, your dice. They're so loud.
I'm
He
so
wants-
sorry.
He wants to know if potentially making the liquid come to a standstill will deactivate the thingy.
So when you guys were messing with it, you did a lot of tampering. Your settings are very basic, but they seem to just give more power in different ways. None of them made it come to a standstill because it's kind of like a lava lamp where it's constantly moving even if it's off.
Okay,
It
how
seems.
can I make it move? Like she wants
You
to figure out how
do-
she can make it move the least.
You guys did set up that it was moving as little as possible last time because you were like, Artemis got hurt when it was moving really fast. Cut it off all the way down, minimum. So
Okay,
it's moving as
Is
slow
that
as
where it's at
possible.
now? Okay.
Yes.
Can I then go back into the room and check on it and be like,
Sure. Yeah, you go
What
back
happened?
in. It seems like this machine was well built. It is well under control because it's exactly the same as you left it. All the pipes and things going. There's a really low, like, very bassy hum to the whole machine. It's running. It's going. It's alive.
How
anything with the
hurt
crystal?
did Kulana get?
Not much. On a scale from 1 to like 186, she only took like an 8, a bit of damage. You know.
Okay. If-
B can heal her if needed.
Sure. She doesn't need healed right now.
If B wants to mess around with the knobs some more, I can just stand watch at the crystal.
This is powerful. Not creepy. Like, you want to go play with the knobs? And B's like, she kind of like runs back as her, and you hear little plips as she runs.
Just-
It's like Squidward walking.
I
yeah.
was gonna say.
So, what is your goal? What are you trying to aim to do?
Can I? Okay, so I want to bring it up to a kind of like it's moving midway.
An active but not
Active state,
powerful.
but not like insane.
Sure, yeah. When you're
It
messing
was
with it,
like purple and
it was purple
red
to
on
like
either
orange.
side, right?
Yeah, it was like purple to an orangish color. And as you get to it, you get it to like a mid sort of swirl of a deep orange, bright blue mix. Yes, slime, welcome. And
I'm playing as a slime.
when that happens, you, Tim, see that actually like the crystal begins to sort of let off more glow, more brightness, but you don't feel anything. There's not much going on. You just see it's becoming more active.
The crystal is behind a thingy, right?
It's behind two forms of protection. One is a floating, like, there is a stasis field that's
Glass
holding it
tube.
in place, and there's a large glass tube that's sucked around it, basically.
Yeah, so if we're playing with this crystal, have we figured out how to deactivate those?
You have not done anything that's deactivated them, it seems.
Okay.
got it.
So this is just the diagnostics for the crystal itself, right?
So there's one table that seems to be a diagnostic, so you can assume it's of the crystal because there's not much going on here. The other table seems to be some form of control panel. You do not know what it controls, though.
Well, B's gonna find out.
Do you keep it on the active state or do you turn it down?
I'll turn it down.
Okay, turn back down to 0. Sure thing.
He's just like,
Back down. Tim, you see it slowly like begin to fade out. Like it sort of pulses with energy almost, and it begins to slowly down to not much pulse.
you hear B run off into another area.
Right over, like right. You guys know that horror game with the dolls that run across the area, and someone like made a meme of it, and it's
Oh yeah.
baby
Yeah,
chugging
yeah.
gasoline and running. That's what B looks
That
like,
game's
just
called
running.
Pacify. I
Yeah,
think.
that's
Yeah,
B running
Pacify.
through the
Oh.
hallway.
He's the pacify baby.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, but you go to the other side. You have those 2 tables. You kind of like get up on your tippy toes, look over it. All right, what are you looking for? Are you just gonna deactivate the machine, or what are we doing?
I want to see if I can figure out how to make that force field come down.
Okay. Do you have any way of reading primordial?
Tex.
I actually do know primordial.
Oh, you do
I
know
can read
primordial?
any language.
Yeah, text can also
Because
read
I
any
figured
language.
it would make sense because it's slime. She used primordial.
If that's the race, yeah, that fits. So yeah, you kind of look at it. You're reading this panel, and this seems to be more of a whole building control. There seems to be some form of link system, a sort of protection system, different sort of door controls, different sort of like commands or like magic commands that seem to have sort of faded away over time. And then there's one that seems to be a control for some sort of scientific safety something. It has a weird name for like a project name. And you can kind of imagine that's the thing holding this
turn
in
it
place.
off.
You just slap and like drag your hand down and you see
Yep.
these dials fall off. Tim, if you're still in that room, you hear a and this whole glass tube begins to just pull up and away, and the crystal's floating, slowly starts floating down and lays itself on the pedestal.
Ooh,
You don't
that's
feel
weird.
anything though. You don't feel any
B
pain.
goes back. Dad, do it!
You did it.
You did something all right.
You hear Salvatore. Yeah. So I look back out. Is the force field down?
Yes, the force field has let it set itself back down.
Okay.
When
so
you
I
s-
Have
point,
we?
I point
Sorry.
to Tex. We got go get your thingy.
I go pick up the thingy.
Right
Just
away,
put
you
the-
get one of those flashbacks, Tex. You get this time. It's more than just last time. This item is super magically inclined. It's like that's what it's designed for, something to just build magic. Basically, it feels like. And as you touch it, you get one of those flashbacks. This time,
Damn.
same area. There's no one in it. It seems to be a little bit older though. There's more rust in the area. There's more tools lying around. There's more weapons. You see actually, you know that shield you got last time? You see that, but in a new state, a new polished silvery metal with its active force field, like this blue force field going around it, completely like full of power, going full force. And someone working on it, still this cloaked figure. You don't see their face. And they're still working on it. You get a flashback back to another area of you walking through the street with this cloaked figure, a shorter figure, like probably only 5'6", 5'7".
I'm
Well,
that tall.
yeah. How tall is Tex?
Tex is like 6'3".
Exactly, a shorter figure.
Yeah, but like me in real life is that tall.
yeah, you're short. It's like me to you, you know. That's the height difference.
I am not bothered by the fact that I'm short.
Autumn is insulted. But yes, you see the figure. You guys are back in the city. Then it flashes to you in some sort of spacecraft. You don't see the figure with you this time, but you do have something. You have something in your hand. It seems to be some sort of parchment roll or a like a scroll of some sort, something important, something with information in it. You remember
Yeah.
this vaguely, but you don't know what it was. You know it was important. You know it was something you were tasked to do. You're going through the stars right now. Looking at your body, it's deteriorated but not gone. It's still new. It still just looks like a bit scuffed metal. And then it cuts back to you back in this building, this underground like machine shop almost, with the figure still there. A little bit more hunched over, but still alive, kicking, still working on stuff.
Yeah.
And then you flash back into reality. Oh, there goes gravity.
Snap back to reality.
Oh no.
No, no.
Hmm.
As you hold this crystal in your hands, you hear another loud click sound and what sounds like chains almost falling. And you see as the pedestal opens up these 4 like cups. And there seems to be some sort of rings in them, like a little bronze, I guess, bronze brass color rings in them.
B wants to pick one up.
You pick one
B
up,
has
and
no concern for her safety.
it just feels like a cold metal ring.
Cool. She kind of like sticks it.
How
to
many
her
rings
hand.
are there?
There are 4 in total.
I grab a ring,
You grab a ring, you put it on your finger.
put on my finger.
It looks very bronze.
I
I'll
like
grab
this
a ring.
You grab a ring, put it on your finger.
Yeah,
Seems pretty normal.
let's keep them.
Let's
Do you
keep
grab?
'em.
Do you take the 4th ring with you too?
Yes, B puts it inside her.
Yeah.
She doesn't eat it, but she's like, "Doot, we have it for safety.
You can tell, for those of you magically inclined looking at this ring's definitely enchanted, but there's not much specific about the enchantment you can tell. There's something with it, but you don't know.
B's just like, ooh, pretty ring. She's got her like little anklet and her scarf. She's like, more things. to
More
decorate B
jewelry.
with. More things to decorate B with.
By those of you who are not magically inclined,
You.
you mean just me.
Yeah. Well, Kulana's at that level too, and if Ace was here, he'd be 2, but they're not here, so you, yes.
Damn.
Kulana's sort of magically inclined, but it's Ranger, so not really.
Hmm. Enough to get the cool story information, right?
Meanwhile, B and Tex. B
Full
and Tex
magic.
are the most magically inclined in here,
That
right?
is true.
I think
Yes.
Tex is more magically inclined than B. though.
Copelia's close, but it's not really. She's an artificer, so some magic, but
It's mostly
yeah.
just big cannon.
mostly just big cannon. Mostly
Yeah,
big
B
chest
is-
cannon she doesn't use. That doesn't. B has
Oh,
a
I
knife.
love it. Wait,
Mystically challenged. That's a good one.
Mystically challenged.
That's Kyle's. Good. That's a good one.
Oh, it's a fly! It's the
it's a
fly!
bee.
It's the fly.
Let's go to
Apparently it's a
Egypt!
bee. I did not know.
But
I think it
yeah,
looks like a horsefly though.
is there anything else you guys like to do in this space?
Oh, Bramwin.
Make a
I'm
mental
good.
note of it. That's what I want to do.
What do you say? What was that?
Yes.
Text.
Make a mental note of it.
Sure. Yeah, you guys have basically the directions. Your computer systems will log anywhere you go, and you can basically pin it on a map as long as you have the same computer systems, which the one you're in instantly tethers to yours. So as long as you have your ship, you have all your coordinates, and you can always come back here. Unless this place moves.
Oh,
It definitely
nar.
doesn't. It definitely doesn't. it's a
Ooh.
destroyed stone castle. It's staying where it is.
Unless it's like Castlevania.
The one that would move is the
Owls?
underwater
Owl's
one.
Moving Castle.
No, the underwater one. In I forget its name. But the one underwater, Lasarth. Yeah,
How
Lasarth.
do we remember your own
I
planet
don't
names better
know.
than you do?
It's too many L's. I keep wanting to think of Lightyear. But Lasarth's underwater place moves, so you can't pin it down actually. Fun fact for you.
We got
How
the
did we find it
teleporters.
the first time?
Magic.
Luck.
So actually no, it was a cross basically Haas pinned it between a bunch of signals and found where it would be roughly, and then you guys kind of just went there and I was like, where is it? Okay, we found it after some exploration.
Playing some Nautica up in this bitch. Ran to
Yeah.
Leviathan.
Yeah, it's true.
It almost,
Technically, we did.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you guys like to do, or are you just gonna head back home?
I want to just take. B wants to take a quick once over to see if there's any like other areas that we might have missed before we leave.
Didn't you say there was another staircase or something last time?
No. The only other
No?
thing that you can really, if you do like a once over this room, there's some like, we talked about this last time. There's some like library rooms or things like that with destroyed books and old stuff that's just been wiped out. It seems like whatever was here has been so deteriorated over the thousands of years, it seems, that like anything that once was isn't much anymore. There's one small detail you do see that on top of this like Y-shaped structure, each corner has one of those large pillars that you see with most of the teleportation areas.
I'm gonna. It's like, oh, it got the teleporty things. Okay.
Poke the teleporty thing.
They are like 75 feet in the air.
Okay.
I poke the teleporty things.
I stutter.
She reaches her pseudopod as far as she can.
Not far enough. You'd be like this thin, and you just collapse.
I turned into that one episode when Jake the dog. Like, Jake
Yeah,
stretches out.
exactly.
I stretched out thin. I can't blink.
Can B take fall damage?
Yes.
Yes.
I can take fall damage.
Yes.
Because if she
Okay.
splats, she just loses material, and it
Got it.
hurts.
Okay.
We'll go with
I was
that.
gonna say I throw B.
Yeet!
B would be okay. She'd be okay with you throwing her.
B can take it.
It'll be fun.
She can take the hit.
She can take it.
All right. So yeah, you do see it
We're
now.
done then?
Walking through the building, you don't see any teleportation areas, so you don't know what's up with those, but they're there.
Do we want to try and take some of this, like magic conductor, whatever it was in the pipes?
Should we really break those?
I feel like we shouldn't be bursting a pipe open, but
I feel like we should just leave it. Besides, what if we can
Leave
charge
it?
that crystally thingy?
all right, we leave it.
All right. So you guys basically load back onto your ship. I imagine Tex is just holding this crystal like a big egg. Just like, I don't know what to do with this thing.
Don't drop this one.
No, do not. You guys, there is a decent sized crack in it too. But there is, you guys basically load on up and drive back to your location. And as you get back there, everyone's still hanging out. Haas is still doing his thing. You do have one character walk up to you. Where do I have her? I don't.
Ugh, sorry, I had to get a
I need her character sheet. Where is she? Jasoth. There she is.
Facade.
Jasoth approaches you guys. She's like, I talked with you all about going to speak with my superiors at our space station previously, correct?
Yes.
They're
Sit
looking.
down.
They are looking to speak with you a little bit sooner. If you guys would be able to at any time in the near future speak with them, they would very much appreciate it.
Field trip.
Field trip.
Right, indeed. I would recommend wrapping up any loose ends you have here before heading out, as you might not be back in a while. You might be back tomorrow. I can't say. They keep these things very tight-lipped, as to not let it slip.
Do we
B
have
has no
loose ends?
B has no loose ends.
B, your only loose ends. You just wibble wobble.
Wibble wobble.
Money don't wiggle.
So we'll wait for Tex to get back, and we'll try that mind thing again. If Tex wants to.
Also-
Of course.
While we're waiting, Tex knows every language.
Can read.
They
every
can
language.
read every language.
Can read every language.
Can't speak it or listen to it though. I don't believe.
Warforged can read every language.
No, it's a
C3PO.
warlock. It's a warlock.
It's, yeah, it's a special thing.
C3PO.
Similar.
Don't call Elliot's not useless though.
That's
Tex
true.
isn't useless.
If you combined 3CPO and R2D2, that's Tex.
If
Except with a
C3PO could
gun.
do Eldritch Blast,
C3PO with a gun.
C3PO with a gun.
You give him a Glock.
Oh my gosh.
uh,
Woo. My 3D printer's going.
Nah, my favorite droid is BD1.
Wait, let me.
can you hear the music?
This music.
Okay, thank goodness. I just realized that someone is playing a lot of music. Oh, what's behind the curtain?
It's a 3D,
3D
printer.
printer.
It's a 3D printer.
Yeah.
Let me read through B's spells again. B has quite a few damage types she's resistant to, being an ooze.
Oh, Caden flexing.
No, that's not how you flex.
Caden flexing.
He's doing the neurodivergent thing.
I'm gonna make sure it
Oh,
looks
that's-
good while Tex is AFK.
She knows compelled duel.
Ooh.
Nice.
Focus, please.
I see it. It's a gun.
No, I'm trying to get the light to focus on it so it's not just blinding.
Ah. I've been trying a new arc map out lately, so the raptors are spared for now.
Yay! Glad they're alive.
So
No, I
I've been
have
having a
snow
problem with
elves.
3D prints failing.
Uh-oh.
And so I'm like really nervous that this one fails too. I got one good print done of Kirby, a bunch of different Kirby's. And
Nice.
so I've been worried about that being a problem.
The only
What's
3D
going on with the
printed
prints?
Okay, I have two 3D printed objects.
They're just
but
not
one of
sticking
them
to the
I'm
build
not allowed
plate.
show.
The resin
I
build
have-
plate just floats up and doesn't have it on it.
The only 3D printed
Oh.
object I have on my desk at hand is this.
See, I'm trying to
articulating
make one of
axolotl.
those. I've been trying to do
Aw.
that, and I can't. I'm trying to make that exact one, I'm pretty
I-
sure.
The
I've got a
other
few.
item I'm not allowed to show
Oh,
because it is not appropriate for stream.
just cover up the boobies.
No, it's not. It's not. It's the other.
Sure, it's definitely not an anime figurine with boobies out.
It's... Look, my friend gave it to me when I was
Wait,
in
you're
high
talking
school.
about the little
okay?
tiny little fat thing?
Yes.
You can show that on Twitch. You won't get banned.
I don't know.
Michael Reeves does it all the time.
That's true.
Yeah, I forget what they call them.
They're called ding dings.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's a 3D printed. I forget where it is. It's somewhere.
I got this little guy.
I have an actual
Aw,
one too.
it's like
The
little
light
messy.
sucks. Oh my god.
I have this guy just radiating light.
You hear just the like, oh no,
That's better.
Padre.
I probably
Oh,
have, I can
messy.
send images in the Discord probably of
You got the one I'm making for Kaylin.
Gun.
Good. Star Wars. I think I have it. Yeah, I have another one right here actually. If I don't fall out of my chair.
Ugh. Oh neat.
perfect.
Yeah, on Ark I'm playing on a completely different map now. So there's different creatures. Like I have a big caterpillar thing that
Oh,
flies
nice.
with gas. Basically, it farts and it flies.
What?
What?
I can show you
That's a
after
great
stream
question.
if you want.
Is there anything you
You're
guys
not
like to
busy.
do while we're waiting though? Anything y'all want? Anything y'all need?
B just wants to eat.
Oh my god.
He finds a
What's
rock.
Do we
Wait,
know
I
what
wanna
Ice is up
actually-
to?
Actually, I want to find
Isa
Hoth.
Isa is probably actually on the other side of the in Iowall or not Iowall.
Iowa.
Iowa.
Lasar, sorry. Iowall. It's a place you always
Oh.
went very early on and had some quests through.
But
Gotcha.
I actually want to find Haas and ask him about the rings.
Sure thing. If you like take your 2 rings and find Haas,
Thank-
I'll say he's
I'm
over right
back.
now. Oh, welcome back.
He's
I had to
What-
take
what are these?
medication and then I had to take a piss.
No wor- Thanks for letting us know. B
You're
is gonna
welcome.
get the rings
I'm down to
inspected
share
by.
anytime.
No, I don't want to. Don't share your pee with me. That's gross. B is getting the
Just
rings
sends it in a
inspected
cup.
by Haas. He walks up to Haas. I imagine like, what this?
What this do?
Haas is like, those look like copper rings.
But I feel magic. And
It's
she
like-
kind of like sets one in his hand. Like,
Sorry, I just thought of a really funny thing. Haas just says, "Oh, magic rings!" Like you're a child.
Yes. we don't know
Your
how old
magic
he is.
rings.
Earth appears behind them. Haas, magic ring.
Haas just goes, "Well, just saying to B, let me use my magic eyes and see what I can see."
See what
he-
you see with
magic
those special
eyes.
eyes.
No.
His magic
Oh,
eye.
right, you're right. He has one. He opens his second eye. Right above
Where?
He's ascended.
it.
Oh no.
So he uses detect magic. You can see his eyes flash over with this sort of like a magic circle just in his eyeballs. And he looks at these rings. He's like, intriguing. They have some form of connection to each other and to another object.
I point to Texas Crystal.
He looks over at it. He's like, yeah, I'd imagine that's it. Where did you guys find that?
The place that we were told about.
Okay. That seems. He's like, would you mind, Tex, if I hold it?
Give Haas the egg.
He holds it. He doesn't seem to have any reaction to touching it. And he's like, this seems to almost store spells, but it has transmutation built in. That is
Excuse
an
me.
odd magical crystal. He gives it back to Tex. He's like, so these rings have some form of connection. They sort of, if you know how, what's the thing people have to use to cast spells? What that's called?
A spellcasting focus?
Yeah, a focus. If you know how focus works, it's sort of like that, but instead of using magic, it focuses it into the crystal, and then the crystal takes a second step to do something? I'm not quite sure.
Elliot, wait, I
Very
got you.
intriguing.
Elliot, I
It's a
got you.
magic capacitor.
Egg!
Egg?
He's like,
Egg.
what you found there is probably one of a kind, very powerful, and needs to be used responsibly. Looks over at B. And not eaten.
Damn.
Did we just find like the equivalent of like a nuke here?
Yeah,
going
did we
on?
just find a bomb?
Is it a
Oh.
bomb?
Can't eat it.
Made in
It's
a bomb
important to me
factory.
somehow.
Somehow. Okay.
Don't know
Tex.
yet, but I'll find it out.
Haas kind of looks over at you. And Tex, are you looking to go back to the other side to speak with Fawny again? Or their group to see if you can figure out more of it?
Sure.
Sure thing. Let me get the portal activated for you.
Yeah.
He walks over. He's like, everyone going? Hop on. And he kind of
B
just like...
eats it.
No.
If B eats it, it's just.
Shadow
There
of
she
Dark
goes.
Souls.
So as you do it, you kind of all step onto the pedestal. I imagine everyone's going. You step onto the
Yeah.
pedestal. He swipes a couple dials and hits go. You guys get lifted out. You feel the colors, see the colors, but don't actually see the colors, as I've explained it in the past. Very confusing.
B is the colors.
B is the colors. You
He's gonna
become
eat
the colors. And
B
you
would
get
eat the colors if she could.
Yes.
True. and you go to the other side. You see Fenatorath over there working on some stuff. You see Dragon walking around, sort of like jumping, pouncing, trying to like shoots fireballs or something out of his mouth, just like being
Doing
a child,
kid things.
doing kid things.
Being
And you
Dragon
see
would get
Isa over there, kind of just like patrolling the area,
Ooh.
checking out some like
I thought
seems
you were
to be
saying
inspecting
trolling the area.
trolling
I
the
said
area.
The internet
Uh,
troll confirmed.
inspecting doorways, looking at some sort of putting something together. You don't know exactly what, but doing something. What would you guys like to do?
I would like to locate the smart one. Who knows about the stuff what they're doing?
you basically just call out, "Hey,
Hey!"
you remember
Hey!
Zlazozemp was the one that helped you last time, and you basically call out to her, and again the smoke clouds appear. They kind of begin to come down. You see Fenatorath just goes, "You never really get used to that," as the whole room begins to darken and flicker in lights, like a rainstorm like cloud appearing overhead. And Zlazozemp, this sort of a mage-like woman in a very loose robes that fit over her finely. And she just goes, Tex, what can I do for you?
What's this?
She's like, this is peculiar. This is something that we've actually seen interact with our plane a little more aggressively than other items. It seems to be some sort of, I don't, what was that? Bomb? if B says that, she goes, no, it's much more controlled. It seems to harness magical energy to put it in one large strike. As
It's a capacitor.
It is a bomb.
no, it's not a bomb. That's not how bombs work. A capacitor is closer to an accurate answer. She's like, when we're in the aether plane, when you get attuned to it so closely, you can see how magic interacts in multiple realms. When the overworld has magic interact, when something uses magic, sort of absorbs it to create new, you see a dip in power. You see stuff disappearing from the aether plane, and when it is then expelled, there is a large overflowing. Where this item was located, it had a connection that would constantly absorb impulses and make sort of ripples, sort of space ripples in our area. But I don't know how it would work in the hands of another person. Now, are you saying, Tex, that this is connected to you as well?
Yeah. I had
Something
another vision when I touched it.
something of great power might be able to give us a little bit more information.
B kind of like reaches up and touches it during their conversation.
Nothing happens to you.
I slap her hand. Back off.
Like when you slap it, it feels like you're slapping Jello. It kind of like wiggles away.
You know the Jello plate that Bob had in Aliens Zombies?
Yeah, it just wiggles all the time.
That's B.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, well, was there anything else that goes along with this, or is this all?
Rings.
Oh
Bee's
yeah,
like,
there's rings.
these.
These have
These.
more human craftsmanship to them, I think. If this is going to connect you to that person, that figure you're seeing, it might be these to do it. She's like, if you
Yeah.
could, please collect all the rings, and we can hopefully start this.
just
Get
like-
all the rings.
And
Bee's
Bee's
just
like,
like,
I
okay.
think we have all of them.
We do. All
Zlazozem
four, right?
sees your... Yeah, you got all four. Zlazozem sees you're kind of upset about that, Bee, and she's like, I'll give you your ring back once we're done.
Yay!
She's like, all right, if you could, Tex, please sit on the stairs, hold the crystal, and I'll set these rings out around you.
Okay. And I do that.
Exactly, perfect. She sets the rings out on all four sides. You guys still have the other weapons here, the items, so she has them included. She doesn't know if it really does much, but she's like, these couldn't hurt. And she does
They're
that mind thing
weapons.
again with you, where you sit down, kneel forward. She kind of has both hands on the side of your head and like does the Doctor Strange out of body thing.
It's called an astral projection.
Yeah.
Idiot.
Oh, wow.
Ass projection.
Astral projection. That's
All the
gonna
butts.
fart.
All the
I've
butts
called
everywhere.
popping it out.
Pop, lock, and drop it, baby. You guys basically load on up. Just watching here closely, you see the lights in his eyes begin to sort of die down, slowly fade away, and just become
Oh my
slump,
God, he's
almost
dead!
like sleeping. I'm gonna eat him.
No!
It's
You
like a
wake up.
cat.
You wake up. There's just bee eating your hand.
She's slowly
Half of
munching
my
the
arm is just gone.
the rest of his face is gone.
I like the idea of like Neerith trying to stop, but like I can't grab it. It's just Jello.
No, B will behave.
That is not correct, cheese. But you guys see Tex is just pulled into this other, like into his mind. You're back in the mine, Tex. It's the same place as last time. This misty floor, this large spiraling but branching like I don't know the correct word for it. But
Isn't it just like an expanse?
yeah, the whole area is just seems like an infinite expanse with this low like hanging mist and things like that that's always around. But it's almost a tree made out of a bunch of cubes, like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
bismuth crystal expanding.
Is it still brokey?
It still has those broken shards, but
It's
this
still
time,
brokey.
as you see Zlazozemp with you, Zlazozemp has a cube with her instead. She has one
What?
separated.
Bitch, that's my cube.
She's like, I think we have repaired memories. This is something that was lost, I believe. As you go to inspect it, you see the figure that you've been watching, this sort of figure. What you're seeing
Uh-huh.
now, though, is much more detailed. With the other ones where you'd lose the face, you'd lose different memories. You can see a full body build. It is someone in this dark green robe with golden lining, almost like a leather overalls, and you start seeing more details. You see these glasses that have like the little flick down things and welding goggles. You see a bunch of tools scattered throughout, and you see a face of an elven woman with this very coppery bronze hair, just looking just curious at a trinket in a store. It's like a sort of a gyroscopic toy, it almost looks like, and it's
Wow.
just spinning away, and she's just looking at it joyously as you're standing behind her, just watching her quietly. And
Huh.
she kind of just looks at you. She's like, do you know this person?
I feel like I should.
Is this the figure you've been seeing?
Yes.
That's B, by the way.
I'm bored.
She
Go play with
starts running-
Dragon.
She starts running around in circles.
Dragon joins you.
Yay! Just running laps around the
God.
the room.
He's like a fucking toddler.
I love B so much.
But yeah, you see that. She's like, I think she begins to like float with this cube. She's like, give me a second here. Let me see if I can find where this goes and if it has any sort of trail. She floats up and starts like inspecting the area. She she mumbles something under her breath and pulls her hands apart, and you see this memory begins to actually like shift its shape. It becomes like cubes that separate into smaller bits, and then she puts it back together. It's like she's reading something through all this. And as she goes, probably like it feels like 5 or 10 minutes pass, and she's like, I think I found the location where this should go. And she kind of opens it up, reaches out another hand to this higher up branch, very far away, where it's starting to get to broken bits. And she kind of closes it around it, takes out some small pieces that seem like shattered glass parts of a cube, and sets a new one in. And as this happens, Tex, you kind of regain that memory baked into your head now. It's no longer you're looking at something, it's you remember this feeling. You remember being there now. And she's kind of just like,
Wow.
how intriguing. I've never seen something like this before. I'm surprised that worked.
Doctor.
By that.
She's like, and how does that feel for you? Do you remember?
I do. Just that though.
Intriguing. We have never had machines or creatures, or I don't know what to call you, but we've never had anything like you when we were still making technology.
Entities.
Rude.
Whatever you are, you didn't exist in my day. Anything you have to say, Tex?
I don't know. A lot of thinking to do, I guess.
She's like,
Tex's fan is running very fast right now.
it's like a PC, just fan
His
speed
CPU
max.
is working
She's like,
His
if you
brain's
don't
just a
mind,
hamster wheel.
if you don't mind, would you
It's
be
so-
okay if I see if I can try to repair some of these extra strands?
Sure.
She's like, okay, give me just 1 second here.
One.
She
Why?
comes back and slaps you.
No.
I'll
I
use-
can feel it in here.
Ah, it hurts. Mm.
Someone get this man some foods.
Is he like now ravenously hungry?
No, it's not those sort of things because he doesn't
He's
need
beef.
food.
No.
She kind of floats around. It feels like almost 20 minutes passes. She's basically, what has happened is she goes up to the ends of these crystals and she seems to have like sorted out different memories, different parts. And as she does this, you have no recollection of this. You have the memories she has. You don't know. You just can. If you go up there too, you can see them. You can see shards of memories. You can see these different places, like almost like painteresquely made cities, towns, ships, tools, people, things. Just like it's kind of like AI art before it was good, and it was just like, I think that's a person. You could
Yeah.
consider that a house, that sort of thing. Very abstract. But you have it all there. She kind of sorts it out. She's like, I feel like all of these can go together. They're just missing their integral parts. But I need to do much more research or learn something more about this before I could do anything to repair it. She rolled a natural 1.
Damn.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
So you didn't find anything good. She was like, I know there's a way to fix this. I don't know if I have the capability to do it though.
Hmm.
Roll again.
Do you know anyone who would have the capability?
She goes, the only person I know that would be capable would be our old friend Steya. She was an artificer with us. But during the large wars, she separated from us and went her own way in the astral plane. We've not been able to track her. You'd be surprised at how complicated the astral plane is. But she is somewhere. She has some form of group somewhere that she works with. I can't tell you much more than that, though.
Hmm. So, no way to see if we could find her.
Stay a while.
You
and listen.
probably could find her. If you look out for... She had a knack for creating robotic creatures, less intense versions of yourself, golems sort of thing. But they were more permanent. They were made of real materials, not magically summoned, and they were more intelligent. They could be programmed to do certain tasks or to complete certain actions by themselves, autonomously. She had a very particular style of a bright red copper. She loved the fire. She loved things steam, anything that could explode. She loved it. If you find similar constructions or see them in your path, or even find people who know about it or have learned from it, or even groups that do that still, they probably have a connection to her.
Alright.
That would be a good first place to look. She was the one who taught me how to do this, how to get here. And she is the one that could probably show you how to fix this.
I will definitely keep an eye out then.
I would recommend it. In the meantime, I will do research. I'll see what I can figure out, if I can break apart this spell, learn more about it, how to control it, what to do, or even see if I have any books lying around about this. But I fear that if it is as complicated as it seems, this is out of my expertise, and it would be easier to find Steya than it is to figure out how to fix it. Reverse engineering a problem. She's like, well, if there's nothing else you have planned in here, I'm going to take us back to the material realm.
Alright.
There's no Google Forms for this.
Google Forms? She's like, okay. And she kind of just raises her hands against your head, and you fade out in this realm, and you wake back up in your metal body. The crystal was like, actually, as you were out, everyone around you, you saw the crystal was actually glowing. It was like creating light. And then the ring started floating around, spinning. The shield was kind of beginning to float it up in place, and then it all just came back to the ground.
Wait, I thought it was a sword piece, not a shield.
There's a sword, a shield, and something else that I forgot.
When did we get the shield?
It was
Same time we got the sword.
You got 3 items.
I don't remember that.
Oh my!
Everyone
forget
just
what they all
remembers
were.
the sword. It's
There's a
sword,
sword-
shield, and something else.
It's Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Pokemon gun.
Pokemon. What was it?
Pokemon.
I have it here. Bracelet. A sword, shield, and a bracelet. So, yeah, you come back to the realm of reality.
Snap back to reality. Whoa, there goes gravity.
So, Lazlo's M's just like, I hope we can learn more about this. It's quite intriguing. If you do find Steya and learn more, please enlighten me about the mystery, because I would hate to not learn about this and just be thinking about it for centuries.
Yeah, I'll do that. If I can find her.
That is going to be a first challenge. But for now, I wish you all farewell. I'm going to go back to the ethereal plane. I'm always listening. And she kind of just floats away.
Excuse me?
So you be here, so that's like, that's creepy, but okay.
She's like, just in this room, just in this room.
Is that better?
She just shrugs and fades to mist.
Remember, Ceiling Cat is always watching.
In the vents.
Among.
Sus.
Where the fuck is it?
That was a fucking reaction.
Tex just dies.
That wasn't like me making a joke. That was just a fucking reaction.
God, we can
Amogus?
never go back.
There was no conscious thought behind those words.
Exactly.
Oh, Mongoose. So yeah. Is there anything you guys would like to talk with?
Neuron activated.
What's her name? Fenatorath, or speak with Dragon about? Oh, by the way, Tex, when you come back and wake up, you see B riding Dragon jumping around the room.
Nearth is chasing after them.
Because Nearth wants to join.
Yes. Not like in like a stop doing that, in like a I'm chasing after you in a fun way.
Yeah. It's like when the big brother chases after you, and then they get a little too close when they chase you, and goes, ooh, and you get scared. I was that big sister.
I think it's just you.
Oh.
But yeah. Yeah, do you guys have anything you want to ask the people on this side?
No, I'm good.
Yeah, I'll take that as a no.
You good?
All
I
right.
sometimes hide Secret Among Us's in my drawings.
Yeah.
No.
Kind of funny.
I have to check something now.
I
Did
know
you
where
get a
they are.
commission?
Tex, did you put? I just called you Tex. Elliot, did you put an Among Us in the commission?
No, I did not.
You should have.
Dude, imagine putting an Among Us in like the next 20 commissions you do and just be like, I hid an Among Us in 20 commissions. Find it
luck,
and
find-
you win.
I
Nothing.
think I
There
did
are
one in B's
5
drawing.
golden Among Us.
Did you hide one in B's drawing?
I think I might
Wait,
have.
where's
I'm
where's
gonna
B?
look. I'm looking
Wait,
for it.
send B in the group
Wait.
chat in the channel.
It's in the it's already in the art chat. I don't remember if I did or not.
I mean, I'm
I
looking.
don't think I did. I
not
could have.
seeing
I
it.
very well could have.
You
With all the shapes of her, like her.
But
is
I
it one of
don't
the
think I
highlights?
did.
Maybe.
I don't think I did. now
There's
I'm
something that
looking
kind of
at
looks
it.
like it, but you don't have the blue visor for it to count. Like down at the bottom between the legs.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
I
what I'm
see it.
looking at.
Kind of looks like it, but there's no blue.
Yeah,
They very well could be.
there very well could be, but there
It
just
does
isn't.
look like there's a penis on your ear. Your left
God
ear.
damn it. It's not even.
You know
ear,
what?
it's
You're
just,
right.
like-
That's what that is. I declare.
I say so now. I drew it. I have rights.
God damn it.
All right. So yeah, you guys basically load back onto the pedestal. Fenatora's like, I bid you farewell. And tapped in the things. You guys get teleported out. B and Neerith, can you roll me a Constitution saving throw?
Excuse me.
Tex,
Okay.
you're fine.
What's my Constitution saving throw?
I got.
I have a +7 to that.
I got
Damn.
one.
Nope, that was wrong. That was Isa. I thought so.
Oh,
I got a 25. I rolled a nat 20.
25. That's pretty good.
Who the fuck is?
I'm gonna say
This
there's no way
person
Neerith
who's
is a
trying to find
+7.
me.
On what?
Constitution? I feel like that's not unbelievable.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It's a +9.
Yeah.
On Steam?
I'm about to
Who
say
is?
it's good.
Who is the dad?
I don't know.
They're from Hershey,
Uh,
Pennsylvania. So like, there's someone we may know.
Check their
Nah.
mutual friends.
23.
23. So yeah, both of you are fine. You kind of come out of it and you're like, man, I shouldn't do that too fast. I'm probably gonna get sick sometime. I was just gonna see if you guys threw up or something.
Oh, great.
That's it. You guys did that very fast back to back. But yeah, you guys are back there, and you see Chisath is just reading some stuff. And she was like, ah, you're back. Well, whenever you guys are ready, let me know. I can take you over to the we can fly over to the space station.
I don't think I'm friends with anybody on their friends list. Who the fuck is this? There's
You don't
someone on
know
their
who it
friends
is?
list. There's someone on their friends list named Cum Man.
What the fuck? Well, if you don't know them, just ignore them.
All right. So, do you guys have anything you want to do, or are you gonna take Chisath up on that deal?
Yeah.
Oh boy. Do I do it now?
Do it now. It'll be funny.
We switch it. Are we switching back?
Do you want to?
Do I switch back? I think I'm gonna switch back.
Okay. So, I don't. How do we
Oh
wanna...
no, I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
No worries. I just need to think about how this is gonna work. So
I know.
basically, I'm gonna
I'm
have it
monkey.
be that
Bee.
Kulana went with you guys in all this and was like, "Hey, Isa, we're about to go deal with some stuff, and we might need more assistance. You down with coming?"
I am down with coming. Says that too.
That's just me.
It's excited.
She's
So you
happy.
guys load on up. You teleport back. Jump back in time real fast. Teleport back. Chasoth says that, and I imagine Neareth just feels like, I don't feel comfortable leaving my people just quite yet. We might have killed the rock, but there's still things around that could be dangerous. So I think I'm gonna stay back.
Understandable.
Plus, has that job, you know? Like,
Yeah, must keep your people safe.
has to keep those benefits.
My 401k, man. It's
The
crazy.
401k is it's so close. I can't let it go.
Like only 20.
I can feel it. I'm close.
I don't know what numbers are, but we're close.
That's B. That's just B's personality. I don't know what numbers are, but we're
So-
close.
Yeah, so you guys basically say, all right, we're ready to go. You step outside. You're in this sort of like clearing of a forest on a hill that goes down to this large plateau area. There's multiple ships landed here, but mostly it is your guys' main cruiser that you have, this sort of sleek, new modern style that you got upgraded to have space capabilities. And then you see two fighters, almost like sort of like X-Wings, but they're much more just they're a little bit taller, and they have some like there's fins on the top of them instead, off the wings, with several guns laid out and this big old engine in the back. It seems like it could comfortably fit 3 people maybe, but that's about it. It does not seem designed to hold a large crew. Chasoth basically goes, your ship's going to be a little bit slower exiting the atmosphere, so if you would like, you guys take your ship, pilot it out, I'll follow behind, and once we're out, I can lead the way to the station. It's a little hard to find because it is floating through space, but we have a connection to it, and we can always just report back to it whenever we need. But let's get on our way. She kind of climbs in. She has another gunner. It seems to be someone in like this sort of flight suit with a big old helmet on, like a do you know the helmets in the Apache attack helicopters that when you look around the gun moves around with it?
Yeah.
It looks very much like that, but it's much tighter down to the head. You can't really tell who this figure is though. You don't know if they're someone that you know or not. Chasoth hops in. Basically, the bottom area just spins down this sort of like ladder. Chasoth climbs in. The figure climbs in behind them. They get in sort of back-to-back area, and it's pretty much a lot like a fighter. You guys load up onto your big old ship with a lot of beds and things like that, and begin to take off. Copelia lifts you guys up and starts you going straight over the horizon. You see Neareth just in the background waving goodbye. You have Dragon left behind, and there's no one else with you.
No.
Dragon is gonna learn from Fenatorath while you're doing boring stuff like talking to people.
Ew.
Diplomacy? Gross.
Couldn't be me.
So you
B
guys
is not
load on up?
diplomatic.
No, B is not.
It's a
Definitely not.
plasmoid thing.
You guys load on up, you take the ship. It takes you like a good 2 to 3 hours just like circling the globe to slowly raise yourself up into the stratosphere to get out. It just takes time with how big your ship is. You can't just go straight up, otherwise you're gonna start just careening back and falling over.
Nearest waves 3 times.
Wah, wah, wah. Done.
No, like every time it goes around.
Oh well, you're not that fast. It's a giant planet. You can't circle the Earth in 3 hours.
Not with
Not
that
unless you're
attitude.
fast enough.
I
Gotta
mean,
go
I guess I will.
fast.
But yeah, you guys take it off. You probably begin to start flying over the ocean. You see a lot of wildlife, like in the ocean specifically. You see these massive whale-like creatures that just like slowly break over the surface with this like massive amount of coral-like structure on its back, diving back in. You see birds flying in these massive flocks. You see some like ships in the water. Exactly, that's the noise they make too. You see these ships in the water that are sailing through it out. It's a couple like battalions and things like that. And everything looks so small. This planet, Beef Stroganoff, is massive. What's the funny?
Big bowl of beef stroganoff.
Exactly, but it's really big. It's bigger than Earth, but it has a little bit less gravity still. Similar to Hone, but Hone's slightly larger, I believe.
Damn.
Yeah. But it's
It's
a
less
massive planet.
dense.
Less dense, baby. And you just start careening just straight out the atmosphere, and then you see Chasoth's cruiser just pass you by. You get a radio connection to her, and you guys basically just go, all right, follow me. It's gonna be about a 3 days journey, so I hope you're ready. And you begin on your way.
B immediately goes to the kitchen to find something to eat.
You guys are gonna have to like child
Is this
all your
Scruffles
doors.
all over again?
Yes.
I used to find
He
the
looks for the
plasmoid
crackers.
in the kitchen this time.
You guys are gonna have to like baby lock your whole place. In the bottom shelves, there actually isn't much. You find a lot of trays and cooking tools, and maybe some like Cheez-It type things.
That's fine.
Box.
Yeah,
Oh.
Yeah, pretty much she just sticks the entire boxes.
And it just goes sits in a corner.
Yeah.
Like after eating Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah. She kind of melts a little bit.
Yeah, so you guys basically load on up. Your ship is equipped with like you have a cafeteria area, you have a place designed to more fully like sort of a recreation room with board games and different sort of card games you can play. I lost my sheet with all the card games I created that you could actually play.
Aw.
Yeah, I made one a while ago with like 12 card games that was just rolling dice, and it was so good. But beyond that, you guys basically just relax for a while. I need someone to roll me a D100, see if anything interesting happens.
Oh, me.
Tex got it. You're correct, Neareth.
Yes.
Oh, D&D Beyond's flagging.
Oh.
I am watching the dice roll one
That's
frame
why
at a
I
second.
didn't volunteer to roll the 100.
Yeah, that is B.
Because I have yet to figure out how to use these ones.
You just roll 2d10 and tell me what it is, and I can count it.
Hang
Is
on,
he
I am
tens?
watching the dice roll one frame at a time.
Oh, I thought it was with these
25.
25.
I also rolled a 25, unironically.
Whoa, that's like really rare. Pretty
I
good chance.
literally just rolled it as you guys said 25. It is the 25.
I'm
destiny.
gonna roll. What do I get?
33.
49. Not right.
13.
25. What would it be?
Is it gonna be good or is it gonna be bad?
That sounds fun. I'll add that into this. You guys are flying through the ship, through the space, through just space in general, and you see there seems to be like a beacon. Now, most of you aren't really space equipped or space adept, except for B. B, looking at this, you know this is an advertisement beacon. These are placed out in areas with high traffic or just like launched into
So
space
it's a
randomly.
billboard.
It's basically a billboard,
Billboard.
but it's also shooting out a radio transmission that you just hear, and it seems to be an advertisement for a sort of like a space amusement park sort of thing. It has the radio ad just not radio. I guess radio. I guess you'd still use radio. That should work. And it's like, come on down to some place. I don't have a name for it. And experience the rides of your lifetime. Zero gravity chambers.
Come on down to Joe's.
Come on down to Joe's.
Just
Zero gravity
Joe's.
chambers, roller coasters, and all you can eat buffets.
Oh.
Something like that.
Oh no.
It then pings coordinates to you, and it's like thousands of miles away, hundreds of thousands even. It's the type of thing that you'd have to take a worm drive portal to.
It's like seeing one of the Smitty's signs.
Beacon, like, can we go one day?
We'll mark it down.
Maybe when you're older.
Maybe when you're older.
And B's like, I'm probably older than you.
Probably.
How old is Tex? Do we
Tex
not have an
doesn't
answer for
remember.
that?
Tex does not know.
Oh god.
Thought so.
B
You
also
know
doesn't know
how-
either.
Place your
Though.
bets.
We have a lot of
Place
people who
your
don't know how
bets,
old they
Google.
are.
What is
Monkey
it, like-
Joe's Mythical Bounce House.
That's
the name.
amazing.
Yeah, but
Because
you guys.
like, they have no information on age for plasmoids.
Yeah, and we decided it was like you basically when you die you just create a new you. So
Mitosis.
how does that count as
Mitosis.
age? Is it like a phoenix that you cycle as a new person, or is it the same person? Who knows?
Yes.
If you replace a ship, board by
We're not
board,
talking
is
about
it the same
Theseus' ship. Get out of here. No Theseus.
It's the same thing.
But yeah, you guys basically are just in your ship. After a couple hour or 2 to 3 days, you get a message back from Chasoth. Unless you guys have anything you want to do, Anything specific you want to try or mess around with?
No, I'm good.
Maybe we'll just find more things to eat.
You guys lose like half your food supply.
Well, not even food. If she finds just some random screw on the ground, she'll eat it.
Oh,
Isa has begun hiding their projects everywhere else.
Just put it on the top shelf. Just like with
Bee
Autumn
can
for
reach
real.
it.
Just like for Autumn for real.
No.
But Bee can't see it. She doesn't know what to reach
They're
for.
like in the vents.
And you screw it back
Sus.
over.
Bee won't eat it without permission. Or without if Bee says if someone says explicitly to Bee, "Don't eat this," then
She's
she
like,
will.
I'm gonna eat it anyways. But yeah, you guys, after a couple days travel, you see this. So I don't know what you guys were expecting as your characters for a space station, but this is like a massive spire sort of thing floating through space with 4 main rings. There's a one big one around the center, 2 smaller ones up top and bottom, and there's a large, like really thick one between the main super long ring and the main spire itself too. And it
That's what I
seems
was
just
picturing.
no, there you go. Yeah. And
That's
so it's
kind of
just
perfect.
it's just spinning around in circles through space, kind of on this axis as it just goes around. And you just get an intercom from Chisoth, like, all right, we're in the home stretch. Let me reach out for clearance, and you'll follow me for parking. Copelia is just like, and after about 10-15 minutes of approaching, you get, all right, follow me. We have a bay closer to the council, and we will hopefully have arrangements already made for us to have a nice place to crash. You pull in. So this thing has a massive scale. It seems like it could hold thousands of people, maybe even upwards of 1 million or 2 million or so. It is a large space. You can tell as you're getting closer, this area is separated into major rings almost. Like the rings are their own areas per se. The center spire seems to be mostly mechanical. It is actually like there's the engines, anything running it. There's mechanicals, life support, anything to change directions, things like that, or even weaponry are built into that. The main outer ring are major living quarters for people and guards. As you're passing by it, you just see food, cafeterias, people walking, houses, a lot of casual stuff going on. If you can see the top and the bottom ones, those seem to be more industrial because there's like either smoke, like gaseous smoke being pumped out of them, or there is like growing beds, like green leaves and trees in these little tiny windows you're seeing. And then you have the center ring, which doesn't have any windows that you can see, and it actually seems to have a sort of blue force field over it for some sort of protection. You start actually flying in closer to that center ring, but there is a bar connecting the big chunky center ring with the force field to the super long, more commercial zone outer ring, and you're flying into that bar. This thing connecting the two, only about like half the size of the big ring, is at least 5,000-6,000 feet wide, and you're flying straight into the center of it. There seems to be all sorts of ship docks here, and there seems to even be like large cruiser ships for commercial flights or even military general ships, sort of things, like these large ships that are holding thousands of people for war. And it's all they can all just lock onto here and be good. You're actually going into a docking bay though, so you enter into the ship, fly around, park, and Chisoth just goes, let me get you clearance, and we'll have you escorted to your location, and we can speak with the committee soon enough.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All
After
good.
5 to 10 minutes, you see. So Chisoth is, I don't know if everyone remembers who's Chisoth is or what she looks like, but
She's
Yeah,
Don't know if I can
right?
pull up like a
Maxine or
mental
she's a tiefling?
image.
she is a tiefling. She is a
Yeah.
tiefling with these large red horns that kind of go around to the back of her head, but she's also wearing this black and red suit. It seems a lot more like a flight suit hybrid because she does a lot of flying, it would seem. And it has like a tight leather as well as these sort of ornamental red sort of like fabric that kind of flows down and is more stylistic. So it has both functionality and form. She has a sort of half cape sort of thing going along her back, and all her weapons and tools are like holstered around her waist in this large belt. And then she has what you can imagine is something like turns into a helmet, sort of like a fold out system that goes around her head, avoiding her horns and everything, like perfectly machined around it. And she just comes into your ship after a little bit, and she's like, Well, if you'll follow me, they gave us locations for the room, and I will let the council know you're here for them, or that you've accepted their summon. That's the word. And you follow her out. Again, this whole place, you're in this like center tube. Oddly enough, there's gravity here, but not very strong. This area seems to have a artificial gravity, not made by a spinning force like the outer rings that you can imagine. This is like almost a weird magnetic pull down to the ground. If you jump, you're probably like jumping 50% higher than you normally would, and you kind of feel a little bit floaty, but it is a lot better than what you'd get in regular space. She takes you in. She's like, it's a little bit of a long walk. This place is quite large. But they gave you some quarters up ahead. You'll have this, I think they've basically locked it out for you for a month, depending on what you need. Depending on what you agree with them, they're willing to work with you. They're interested in your assistance. But I'll let you go on in whenever we get there. It has, I think we have 2 rooms, bedrooms, 5 beds in each, full bathroom, 2 separate bathrooms that you can use at any time. There's a kitchen connecting both of them. It is a very large place.
It's a college dorm.
She goes, do you say that as B?
No, I mean like, no, like
Okay.
it's a college dorm.
B has been to college.
B would probably know what college is.
Yeah.
Higher education's important. They have those in space. Obviously. Space college, you've ever been?
No, unfortunately.
She, after about like, it's probably like a 15 minute walk, and you're even on like, you know, the not treadmills, but like escalators, flat escalators in airports. Have you seen those before? It sort of has those throughout the whole area. They have like ones, and then every like probably 50 or so feet, there's a break in them that you can step off of. And you guys just keep on going. It's like a 15-minute walk on this extra speedy pathway, and you get to like these doorways. The doorways are probably about 20-25 feet tall, and they seem to be designed to accommodate everyone from I'm gonna be funny. There's a major doorway, and then built into the door there's a smaller doorway that you can use if you're really small, like a gnome or a goblin, and then the main doorway that could be used if you're a giant or a Goliath or anything like that. And she's just like, feel free to make yourself comfortable. The beds have been set for normal sized folks, so you can easily get comfortable and relax for a while. I will go speak with them, let them know you're here. It might be an hour or 2 until they're available to see you. It just depends on what they're up to now.
Thank you.
She's like, of course. Get yourself comfortable. I'll be back soon. And she just walks off and goes speedy down that little escalator thing. You guys enter in. This is a very nice room. It's like, it's not gaudy. It's not super fancy. It's not like gold and plated, but it's very well laid out. There's a main area with a nice soft plush couch that is sort of a red-black, like a red couch with a black powder. I don't know how to describe it. Almost like what are the shirts called where you have red and black, like a lumberjack shirt?
Flannel?
It's almost like a flannel, but it's a little bit more subtle in its pattern. And it is very plush, very soft to the touch. There's a large glass table that is actually like a large swoop that goes into a large flat surface for the table. A TV on the wall that just is playing a generic channel talking about the station and what it does. There is in the back there is a sort of like a games room. It has a billiards table on it, and there's a kitchen to the left that connects both of your rooms. A nice large kitchen, major island in the center, 2 ovens, 2 microwaves, like everything on both sides. The large archway, everything's like 20 feet tall too. It seems that the ovens and stuff are more designed for humanoid creatures than anything larger. There's a bedrooms off to the right in their own separate area with another one of those tall doorways. If you go in there, 5 bedrooms on each side with plenty of space. It seems like, and if you're looking at the walls, there are these different lines everywhere, like in the ceiling, in the floor, and things like that. There's panels on the side of the walls, like these sort of blue panels about yay big that you tap and a screens move and stuff like that. That if you press the right ones, these walls and like room walls build up out of the floor. And it's all these rooms are segmentable. You can turn this into 2 separate rooms. You can turn this into 3 different rooms. The floors can shift, everything like that. It's all built in to be super like If you need a room for 50 people, boom, you got it. If you need room for one really special guest, boom, you got it. It's whatever you need. It's very high tech, very magically inclined, and some very smart people worked on it.
I want to
Damn.
get me one of those.
Yes.
Break
you-
me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar.
You realize this
Yeah.
space station probably cost a lot of money.
Let's break it. No.
B, do not break anything, please.
There is also a large glass tube. Since you guys are on like the outside of this main tube, there's a large glass window that just stares off into the space station, and you see these ships flying in and out constantly. You see the ring spinning. There's actually the ring you're in. Hello?
Huh?
Oh,
Hello.
Kaylin. Hello. I saw stuff move.
Hi.
They're the large inner ring you're in, and this thin but still massive outer ring are spinning counterclockwise to each other at 2 different speeds, and you can kind of see it like they're counteracting each other's spin.
Ooh.
B grabs something from the kitchen, sits herself down in front of the big glass window, and just watches them and eats.
You get a big cheese wedge, and you're just.
Yeah.
Also,
slowly.
why is there a gif of a bunny being
Oh.
force fed?
That is
That's
B.
we're considering that that's B.
B
Are you
was
being
eating a lot of
force-fed?
stuff.
No, B is doing that out of free will.
Oh.
Same thing, but free will choice.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, indeed. But yeah, you guys see all that going down. Not much happens in this place. If you flip through the TV, like there's generic shows that are sort of like soap operas or action movies or things like that. Stuff that you imagine is transported throughout space, but like you guys have been around. You know that if you go to a different sector in space, there's not the same movies because there's just so many movies that are created, so many different things. It's all wild and everywhere. But there's also just like TV stations that are infomercials for the space station that's like, welcome to the space station. We have everything you'll need to survive and you're well protected. We thrive on the mentality of no one owns, or that's not a good way to phrase it, but no one should have all the power and everything should be for the people. Protection should be for everyone and no one should be able to take advantage of anyone.
Can we actually have that in our government now, please?
I wish. it'd be
Pretty
like that.
please.
Please.
We have that.
I wish people couldn't get paid and take bribes in the government, but they do.
Yes.
That should be illegal.
I'm pretty sure it is, but how they do it's not.
It should be
It's
illegal
just-
anyway to accept money like that while you're in office,
Mhm.
or like
You should the only job you should be able to hold is office when you're in office, and you should also be paid the
Yes.
minimum wage.
Yes. I like that idea.
That one would be good.
term
Hello,
limits.
nameless Vex. Welcome. But yes, you guys,
Vex.
after about 2 hours of waiting or so, Chisath comes back out and she's like, all right, if you'd like to follow me, they're finishing up a meeting in the council's chamber, but it'll be just a short while. By the time we have you go through security check, they'll be ready.
Sounds good.
It's like, all right. So you all load back up on these long like treadmills basically and go down the way. It's about probably like another 30 minutes of walking almost to where you're going.
Ooh, it's cold.
And she goes, all right, so we're gonna have to go through a security check. They basically are just
Conveyor
gonna
belt.
what?
It's a
Human
conveyor belt.
conveyor belt.
No. She just goes, they're gonna ask you to remove all your weapons, all your like shoes, sort of things like that. Everything that isn't just clothing to make you naked, you're gonna take it off.
B
She
kind of looks down like
yeah, she just looks at B. You might just step through the detector. I don't think much is gonna happen with you. But
B
they're
is
gonna
semi-translucent, so like
inspect your
really-
weapons and they're going to ask to put a sort of control over it that they can monitor the activity of your items. They can tell if you're going to use a magic spell, they can tell if you're going to shoot a weapon, and it'll basically prevent that from happening. You raise your hand and she's like, you're an adult, you can speak to me. What's up?
They're called travelators.
Really?
Yeah, travelators.
It's awesome.
That's
I didn't know
really
they had a name.
Yeah,
It sounds like BS marketing, so I 100% believe you.
I love it.
And as you guys are going down the travelators, you reach your destination, and it's exactly as she said. Everyone there seems to be wearing a similar suit. They're like these black flight suits, but these people have a instead of red, it's like a blue sort of frills going down the back, and then like sort of weapons holstered, like a stun stick on their side, and then they have communication devices on them. They're in front of these screens with visors on, and like, welcome, you're the ones looking to speak with the council, or someone to speak with the council, I should say.
Is us.
And she's like, yes, please place all belongings in the scanning devices, and we will be putting on them basic spells, rudimentary items to track any sort of movement or haste. After you leave the area, they will instantly disappear. This is all just safety precautions to make sure nothing gets out of hand.
B kind of looks
Wait,
up at the person
everything
who's
gets
speaking
removed?
and like looks down at himself like.
She's like, we can probably help you directly, young one.
What about the ring, B?
She's got her little ring, her little anklet.
like-
Little
she's
ring?
got a ring, an anklet, and a scarf.
She's like,
That's her belongings.
we're not doing anything to prevent. We're doing stuff to detect. And we have systems in there to prevent if anything goes wrong.
Great.
Reuse.
Rikiki. You guys basically take 10 minutes, you put them on like a tray. There's several people sitting there that kind of use different tools to basically, it's almost like they're waving a wand over it, and just like you see this blue shield go completely around your item and then flash into disappear. As you put it back on, absolutely no difference. You don't feel anything gone, you don't feel it powerful, but they just say to you again, if you use any magic capabilities, we will be aware of it within this range. Once you leave back to your room, our magic will disappear and not be we will not be able to use it anymore.
This is just the TSA.
Exactly.
It is a TSA.
It's exactly what it is. They're making sure you don't shoot their counselors.
Nice.
Yeah,
Signal
very
stuff,
good.
B.
You are in Chisoth's like council space station. I don't have a name for it because I forgot to name it somehow.
Council Bricks.
I wasn't paying attention for like
So
a half hour.
Yes,
So-
Chisoth told you that the council was interested in speaking with you. She did not give you any details about what. She didn't know what the details were about. But you're going to go in Chisoth's main, like the leaders of Chisoth's organization, and they're going to basically speak to you like, "Hey, we got a problem and we want your help." Essentially.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
gonna get paid for it?
Looking at the space station, you imagine easily. This space station probably took at least 100 years to build and probably cost more money than any planet has seen.
Not
Jeff
gonna lie.
Bezos could pay for it.
No.
Not gonna lie. I like was kind of like closing my eyes just for a moment, just listening to the talking, and for some reason, I imagine where or where everyone is. Now, all I can think of is just a Warframe.
Yeah,
Station.
it's kind of similar, but a lot bigger. A lot
Yeah, it's like
bigger.
what I'm thinking of, like imagining of what it would
That's a
be
good
or
visual.
look like.
But yeah, you guys are as you do this, they kind of walk you in. There's a big door. This door is now like 60 feet tall, split in two. It is very like all the stuff is a in the main area, it seems to be like a stainless steel sort of color, but like more matte finish rather than brushed. And it's a little darker in the floor, brighter in the rest of the ceiling and things like that to have better color combination. And they have fake plants put around to make it all look a little more homely. But as you get to this area, this is turning into like a black stainless steel with a sort of a red gold inlay on everything. And as you open the door, you see 4 people. They all are, there's 3 of them that are humanoid size and 1 that is small. And they're all sitting on these sort of fancier thrones. Behind them is a massive glass window, like a big oval, sort of like if you guys know the Star Wars scene of Darth Vader's like fight with Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
That big thing
Yeah.
behind
Palpatine.
Palpatine, but like a lot bigger and a lot cooler.
Palpatine.
But they're all sitting there. You see 4 figures. The first one, I don't know.
Wait, was it the scene when Luke took off Darth
I-
Vader's helmet?
No, it's earlier than that. But there is
Was
one.
it
I don't know.
where
I
Darth
actually
Vader cut off
didn't
Luke's
know about
hand?
this race until recently. But a Hadozi, one Hadozi,
Monkeys!
which a small creature,
Monkey.
very small,
I
and they
love
seem to
them.
have more of a still black, like black leather wrapped around their fists, and this sort of light black robe with a red belt wrapped around them, holding it down tight. And like you can see this guy is buff. super hefty dude,
Buff monkey.
a buff monkey. And I
What kind
believe
of monkey?
that is
Harambe?
all. No,
What kind of monkey?
a Hadozi.
Yeah,
I
but
don't-
like,
It'd be like
Harambe?
Diddy Kong,
the-
sort
yeah.
of that style of monkey.
Hanky Dank.
It's from the Spelljammer book that I got.
I know.
Then you see an astral elf. It is an
Someone got
elven.
the Spelljammer book
I
set.
sure did. I wanted to use this somewhere in a space fantasy. What do you mean? You see,
Astrals are so
she
cool
has
looking,
a
though.
very pale skin. Her eyes are like almost like a star in it, just like to one bright dot, and then sort of a purple, inky, sort of nebula-esque. Not pupil, but I guess pupils. That kind of is correct.
Eyeball.
Scalera.
Yeah, the actual white part of the eye and the pupil are all this sort of purple, milky mist sort of thing.
It's
Um,
called the Scalera.
Sure.
That's what the color part of the white part of your eye is called.
I'll trust you. And she is wearing the sort of high collared black gown with a purple and red color combination. And it just kind of just flows down, a sort of long, flowy coat. She has a longbow sat in front of her, like on her lap. A really big longbow with like sort of dragon wing tipped ends. Then you have what seems to be like a large cricket almost. A thrycreen for those of you that know.
like
Large
those.
blue eyes with a big old like armored skull noggin. They have sort of leather a light leather armor with a black tunic below, and you see green accents on him. He has a club, like a great club at his side next to him, and he seems to have some sort of some
Sure.
books with him too. And the last figure you see is a large froggy boy. It is a Lokatha, I think is how you pronounce it. Big old gullet, big old fat neck with a sort of super round
Hey,
head. These
Caden, I'm
bitty.
looking at YouTube's homepage and I see your stream on my recommended. I'm gonna tune in.
It
Oh my
me!
god.
Oh
my
my
gosh.
god.
I
Uh,
wonder
Oh
what
my
Caden is streaming
I
today.
wonder, what am I streaming, guys?
What are you streaming?
Where am I?
What
Uh,
are you streaming? What
Kaden,
They-
Kaden,
they
it's
are-
the other you. It's the other you, King.
They are wearing a very green and blue coat with like this black lining and like I don't know what you call it, but that thing that wraps around your shoulders and hangs down but doesn't wrap around the neck.
Shawl?
Not like a shawl, but it's similar. But it goes down to the black
a
robing,
Poncho?
and then they have a big old they have a big staff with
Sherpa?
them. I don't know.
Like the thing that priests wear.
Sort of, yeah, sort of like that.
A
Hang
rope?
on. I have it. I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about. I just don't know the name of it.
And they have a big staff that has like a blue-green vibe with a large orb in the center.
B
Oh,
immediately looks at them all, like waves excited, like hi.
You see the astral elf smiles like, "Hello, small one." The rest of them kind of just stare. You see Siak, or I should say the monkey man, the Hadozi, kind of just doesn't seem too whelmed to be there. He's just like, I'd rather be elsewhere, sort of face.
Kiolana
You and me,
Kiolana
pal.
just goes, y'all look very pretty.
B's doing like the double hand wave.
See, don't they look pretty?
Yeah.
It's called a blessum.
A blessum? Where'd you put it? Did you send
I
a
didn't
photo?
put it anywhere
Oh,
yet.
let
I
me-
have it on my phone.
Zoom tight.
Let me see if I can.
Like this?
Yeah, exactly, that sort of thing. He has one of those, except it's black and it runs down to a blue fade at the end.
Nice.
Oh my gosh. They're like,
Monkey
you
says
see
it's
the astral elf stands up. She's taller. She's probably like 6'2". And she just goes, "Welcome. I'm glad you all could attend. We've heard a lot about you through Chisoth, and we've assisted you in the past, and we would like sort of favor in return.
B's just kind of like,
Welcome, Flames." She's like,
Uh-huh.
she continues, "I know you're well versed with those on Hone. I know you know about why am I gonna blank on his name? Kaisir and the leaders there. Sort of the culture. You know about it, how it all goes down there. We have some concerning news from Hone."
oh,
She kind of looks up.
Oh.
The frog boy he stands up. He's like, well, we've got some word that Hone is working on a project to lock others out of the solar system in a way to phrase it.
Like
Huh?
physically or legally?
More physically. Hone has gotten a plan to create a sort of netting of robots around the sun. These robots would be capable of conglomerating in areas and blocking the sun from entire planets.
Well, that's not nice.
That is not
Also,
nice.
I think that's called a Dyson sphere, but that's not nice.
You know the proper term for it. Good job. The frog boy continues.
Who said, "Look at you go, buddy"?
I did. I did.
You said Dyson sphere, and I'm like, a vacuum?
The vacuum of space. No.
Ooh.
But he continues. He's like, if they're able to enact this plan, we would not be affected by it directly, but those planets in the solar system, like the one you are all from, he looks at, or the ones that some of you are from, could be easily eradicated in a winter that could not be recovered from. It would
What?
destroy ecosystems, and it would put Hone in place of basically taxing for the sun.
So what you're saying is that we were basically betrayed by the leaders.
I wouldn't directly say betrayed. There's technically no laws against it.
Why not?
I
There
think
should be.
there are
Yeah.
laws against space being
Yeah.
open to everyone, but as long as they stay open to everyone and just shoot down who is around it, that is not outlawed, as it would be very hard to enforce.
Damn.
Yes, a lot of solar
See
system,
what?
a lot of laws are based around planets put by the capital Citadel, but laws around space are very loose and actually guided by those who live in the solar system. It is done by councils, members that are representatives from each planet that has meet certain requirements, a lot of legal processes, things like that. But with this solar system being relatively new to the Citadel's reign or control, there's been no laws in preventing any sort of Dyson spheres or creations around the star in the center.
Wouldn't that destroy Hone too?
Not precisely. How they plan on creating it is it would be a net of robots with mirrors, essentially. The mirrors would reflect it to machines that would create power or energy sources or whatever, but they could conglomerate to block out certain planets. The only thing is, they could, if they move them in correct positions, certain planets would be perfectly fine. The issue with this is bribery or taxation. Hone could legitimately block out the sun from a planet unless they paid a certain fee or gave certain items.
Sounds like Bee's got some people on her menu.
Sounds like
puts on a
power
little
hungry.
puts on a little
power
bib.
hungry trip.
Yeah, her scarf becomes a bib.
Yeah. Syac the little monkey goes, it is definitely a power trip. Kaisia, I think it was. Kaisia has been a thorn in our side for a while, and I wish to just give him a good talking to.
can eat
He
him.
says. He's like, we don't exactly know what we're going to do about this just quite yet. We don't know the full plans of Hone. We're reaching out to you to request assistance in figuring out exactly what we want to do. There are several paths we can take. So far, we have a couple of spies and people working on figuring out exactly the game plan for them, trying to build up the map, the roadmap that they're going to take.
Well,
What if
We
we
definitely had our fair
industrially-
share of.
What if we industrially sabotage them?
Industrial sabotage is an interesting idea. The only issue is most of this is taking place on off-site creation. So to find their location, we have to first learn the location, and then two, have enough power to break whatever it is. But we are not sure of that. That could take months. We are thinking more of political assassination. You see the astral
do
the
that.
astral elf goes. She slaps the monkey on the shoulders. Not political assassination. We are
Aw.
looking to remove key figures,
Mudslinging.
not in
political
murderous
mudslinging.
ways, as that is not very legally okay, and we
Does
could
anyone
get
know Feeble Mind?
we
Yes.
we
Oh my
could
God.
really see some repercussions for us and our citizens. We are looking to cripple their structure and prevent plans from going through.
Hmm.
Oh, does anyone know Feeble Mind?
Yo.
Yes.
Bam! Cast it! Dead. No.
How about we do defamation of character?
She continues, now we are interested in turning the pack in on itself, which is great. Being able to stop them by stopping themselves would be very useful in this scenario. We are just not too sure of how we're going to go about that. There are 3 routes we see. 1, we go straight for the main honcho. We try to find Kaisia's main base of operation for this. See if we can cause some misprints, some numbers to go askew, project plans to mess up, and we can delay everything until we learn more about it and strike harder.
I can
2,
eat the blueprints.
Like
you
my
could. They
penis.
probably have them digitized though.
Eat the
Eat
computer,
those
bro.
too.
Computer.
2, we can focus on a more, like you said, industrial focus. We believe that they are working with a team in a nearby scientific college, to actually produce these things, or at least design them. If we can
Do they know what they're designing them for?
we're not well aware. It could be they're designing one thing, and once they send up the blueprints, Kaisir is adapting them to do much worse things, or it could be they're full intent and aware of what they are creating. That is
It's a
something
bunch
we
of
do not.
sleep-deprived college students.
That is something we do not want to ask directly, because it could be a big red flag that we're coming, and we want to try to stay as silent as possible. We could be there, and we could basically make a design that is hard to break, delay it, or make a design with one extremely fatal flaw, like maybe a sensor that when you shine a particular laser at it, they explode. That's my idea, but it's a little far-fetched.
Make them non-heat resistant.
So they just burn up around the sun.
Yeah.
Or there's another one
Death
of
Stars.
we can focus on letting people know, causing an uproar, and hopefully focusing that up into one specific attack, or focus on destroying their infrastructure from the inside. Basically, government overthrow.
Start it.
Insight Rebellion.
Flames, you can't just rickroll me in chat.
You muted.
You went
I
muted.
know, I'm talking to chat.
Oh,
Who cares about chat?
I do. Chat's my little
Well, well,
baby.
Is we could check out what the designs are on the robots, so we could know how to destroy them.
That is
ourselves.
also very important. We have people trying to work on that, but this is very under tight lips and under super specific processes that is limiting our access. That is where we'd like you to come in. We know you are outlawed in Hone. We are willing to help you create false identities, secret
Being like,
IDs.
You guys are outlawed.
Yeah, we don't know why.
yeah.
What did
I
you
look
do?
at text.
I
We
don't
know why.
remember. I
You-
got some memory issues.
Honestly,
okay?
you guys don't really know why you were outlawed. You don't truly know. None of you do. You don't have a specific reason in mind. You just know that they started tracking you, you stopped them from doing it, and now they want you dead.
I've got a separate reason though.
Yeah, you would be outlawed by that. You're right. Trelaurus, the astral elf, continues. She just goes, we have a couple locations in mind for all of these routes, whatever you want to do. We have several, what seems to be advanced research facilities hidden out. We know of what we believe to be Kaisia's main base, though that's directly in the heart of Hone. To get there would be dangerous, but we believe to be the most effective. If we could capture Kaisia, or she looks over at Syak, or political assassination, only on Kaisia though. We do not know anyone else's intent. Doing anything else could lead to true issues for us and our people.
Who's gonna
Um,
miss one stingy politician? I'm
That-
not.
That's what we believe. There's enough people on Hone who are against him that we'd probably have backing to finish it. If, however, we start taking out multiple military generals, we might have issues.
Yeah.
With that as well, though, any of that should be available. Or we could go down the route of trying to be a backline, create fatal flaws in the machines, and then have them all fail at once it's implemented. That would be the
don't know,
most
I like
costly.
the idea of government overthrowing.
I also like that idea.
Syak
fun.
Syak smiles at her. She's like, I like these ones.
But yeah, well, also if we overthrow the government, doesn't that also help hone the kind of solar system for years to come too, by getting the baddies out?
The frog goes, it could help some, but we'd have to have a separate government ready to take its place. Otherwise, those who are very informed of the crime on Hone could easily take control. And that could lead
What
to a
about
very
you?
dangerous group of people
That's
owning
true.
very dangerous weapons.
That's true.
How about you?
What, are you talking to the frog?
Yeah. Is there a government going to take over?
He goes, we have some benefits in being a freestanding organization in the Outer Rim, meaning we don't have the same laws as a planet. It allows us to have some free jurisdiction, some extra freedom from requirements, as well as some space outside of the laws, I shall say. We would
Got it.
not care to take over. However,
Mhm.
we do have council members and lower groups who could easily step in place and take control of the area without causing much of an uproar.
Hone
We
is
could-
not a democracy, right?
No, it's capitalism.
Hone is very much
Gotcha.
capitalism. It's
I'm getting
almost a capitalist dictatorship. Those
I'm
with
getting
money,
whis-
Like
Whisperings of this week.
America.
It's like I'm getting whisperings of a place called America. Where the hell is that?
no, America, you at least get to vote on some things. Not in Hone.
It doesn't feel like it.
Yeah, it doesn't
I was gonna
feel
say,
like
what if we started our
Really
own
doesn't
political
feel like
party?
it.
it.
The Green Party. We're the liberals.
Dang liberals
Darn
taking over my planet. uh,
The Hone Green Party.
all right.
Well, I mean,
Ugh.
if we make him vanish, and then one of your guys takes in, that could like really do. But we can also do the fatal flaw thing. I like that one. There's nothing I like more than making sure things don't go good.
Good
for
old
bad
Star
people.
Wars.
You see
How about we do
Luke,
both?
this grasshopper-like man, the Thrycreen, stands up, and in this like low rumbly voice, he's like, "We would be fine with removing Kaisir. The issue is there has been attempts on his life, but whenever there was reports of success, he always reappeared. He has something going on. I do not know if it's a form of, oh, I forget the spell. There's a spell that if you
Clone?
die, you can clone into a
Clone.
new creature.
Yes, clone.
We don't know if it's a spell, if it's something technological, or if he's being clever in another way. But there are things that always, if he dies, he reappears. The only thing is, if we can find out how he does it, we can prevent it.
Who knows? Suggestion.
Me?
What do you have?
Well, I mean, if we can't kill him, like we can have abilities where we can just break him.
What abilities do you mean?
I got some spellcaster friends who know how to break people.
Until we find out exactly how he manages to reappear, using any spells could just out ourselves and give him preparation time to defend against such. We want to make sure we know how he reappears before we strike.
If we just like break his legs.
Again, if he then dies and can reincarnate himself, or has clones, or some other tricky way, he's very... Hone government is very sneaky. They have an entire testing facility underneath the capital of Hone with
Eat the rich.
miles and miles of technology that is unknown to the citizens. This sort of information is very limitedly known, very much rumored, but we do not know what's in there.
Got it. So are we doing any kind of reconnaissance then?
If, depending on the path you take, reconnaissance is probably one of the first steps for you. It is always
Alright.
best to know your battle before you fight it. And the cricket guy sits back down.
I think we should mess with the robot blueprints because even if they do go through with it and then do the plan, then it's gonna fail anyway.
The Trilorus, the space elf, not astral elf, what is his name?
Astral.
Astral elf, yeah, goes. That is a very safe fallback plan. The only issue is there's going to be eyes on it every step of the way. If you want to go through with that, we're going to have to focus on getting them to add a failsafe for us, getting them, forcing it into the system. Or what we can also do is if we can find the final blueprints that they're using to manufacture, which I believe they're getting into manufacturing stage now. That's one of the reasons why we were so urgent for this. We don't know when they will be fully up and running. If we can find those blueprints now, that will allow us to analyze, find the weakness, and punish it.
Sounds good. I like this plan.
We can definitely start with that, but we do also need a final solution, something that will put this in the ground. Because until either Kaisir is dealt with, Hone's structure is dealt with, or the people uprise, he will continue to try to find ways to manipulate and take from those who are left.
I'm all for a government uproar,
Yeah.
but what if people
Same
get hurt?
here.
What'd you say, Autumn?
What if people get hurt, like innocent people?
You cannot do much more pain than Kaisir is already causing. There's people that have disappeared and never reappeared every day in Hone. It is unknown as to the cause. It is unknown to where they go or what they're being used for. I believe with some of the information Ch'Soth has revealed about your guys' interconnection with mutant creatures, that is a big sign that they are using their own populace to test out military weapons, which is extremely dangerous. Anything you do, even if you blow up this entire city of Hone, will not compare to what Kaisir can do for 100 more years. If you do not know, Kaisir, the planet of Hone, was founded by a man 3 generations ago, Kaisir's grandfather. His grandfather passed it down to Kaisir's father. His grandfather survived for 250 years
Damn.
and then died of old age.
What kind of race is he?
He is human, which
How
is
in
the
the
most
heck?
peculiar. His father was assassinated when he was old enough to take over, but not fully aware of his surroundings. So he surrounded himself in a council. Once he had that council, he's been reigning for about 160 years already. We do not know.
I look at the party. Do you think that blue guy has anything to do with this?
Possibly.
Potentially.
You guys
How he
do
keep-
know Kaisir and Kaisir and Lair are connected. You do know that. You do know they have interacted with each other. You just don't know to what extent.
Well, maybe he's making him old and come back every time he's killed, kind of like a warlock.
The frog speaks up. What do you speak of this blue guy?
So there was a guy that we met. His name's Lair. He's not very nice. We know, at least I've heard from them. Found that the guy you're dealing with and this Lair
The
guy
cricket
have,
speaks up. He's like, I've heard of Lair. I've heard this name.
Yeah,
he
they have
is
connection,
Very powerful.
and he's like a very ancient, powerful kind of demon guy. He might be what's behind bringing him back. He's also mad at us. I don't know why.
He isn't
the
mad
the
at us.
cricket man speaks up. He's like, it is very possible that Lair is using some of his power to overwhelm or take control of Kaisir or help him in some way in regains for maybe sacrifices. We are unaware. We would have to know more about this Lair figure. But that is another reason why we do not want to strike until we know.
Who knows? Maybe Lair's behind the Dyson sphere and wants some crap with the sun's energy.
The frog guy
Dang.
speaks up. If he is of demonic origin, he is not interested in any star. There's plenty of stars around the world, not the world, sorry. There's plenty of stars around the galaxy and the universe that he could take for free and no one would mind. There's been attempts on it before, and the Citadel has put ends to it.
Bee's just gonna keep quiet because she doesn't want to bring up the primordial stuff being in this solar system particularly.
It's like, don't tell them anything they don't want to know. And they just continue. The cricket speaks up again. He's like, yes, anything powerful always has a reason behind it. Now, we do not know yet if Lair is working with Kaisia for any specific reason, or if Kaisia reached out to Lair first. These are all pieces of information that would be very useful to learn.
Have
So
we
I
met
guess.
What's up?
Kaisir? As players, have we met Kaisir?
So those of you that were in Hone have seen Kaisir. You've seen him give a presentation, on like a big TV. That's it. And you've heard news about him. You've seen him around and things like that. You've seen him on billboards. It's like basically, a dictator in a country with a dictator. It's everywhere. He's everywhere. He's painted as like a god, basically.
Kim Jong-un.
Yeah, pretty similar.
Except
Except he wants to focus on giving people free will to do things, but could care less. He wants to look good for other planets to get more people here, essentially. So yeah, and they're like, the elf speaks up again, and she's like, well, if I'm glad you guys seem interested in this. We are happy to give resources. Like I said, we are willing to create fake IDs and passports for you to get back onto Hone easily. We have a ship with a jammer built in that means it can't be tracked, and until you leave the planet, it'll always have a new code, and basically no one will question your appearance and where you are.
Dang, fancy.
We have some troops we can send with you, depending on how you'd like to go about this. We have spies, different groups like that. We could even lend you Chisath's aid, since you know her very well and can trust her. It is just up to what path you want to take and how would you like to do it.
Bee's all for blueprints and murder.
So you want to go down
I'm
the
up for
scientific
those
route?
two.
Okay. So you guys speak up to her, and Syak speaks up. He's like, so it sounds like you want to steal some information and kill a man.
Sounds fun.
Yeah,
I
mean,
like
it's
this group.
effective.
it works.
The space elf kind of rolls her eyes. She's like, please be careful in your ways. If you're even caught being there, you're probably going to have a full assault team targeting you. We have ways to help protect you. We have ways to get you out of sticky situations, but we do not want to use them to let Kaisia know. Just as much as he's developing, so are we. But
Well, we can't just walk up and stab him. We gotta figure stuff out first.
exactly, that is a very good plan. If I could recommend, we believe the what's the word? We believe the college working with Kaisia is in Iowa.
It's in Iowa.
It's in Iowa.
It's
Let
the
me take
college
a-
you went to in like episode 6.
I remember that one.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
With the Dragonborn. as
With the
dean.
Dragonborn Dean. Yeah. It's been
That's
like
where
2
I-
years since you've been there.
Oh my god.
Has it really been that long?
I think
since we
so.
Started this camp. Oh my
Mhm.
gosh.
In
it's
July,
like,
it'll be 2 years.
yeah. It's coming up. And
Damn.
then you guys, she's like, we believe that's where the main source of intelligence for the design is coming from. What we don't know is what they are doing with it just quite yet. We don't know if Iowa is known what they are doing, or if they are just working on a student project for some green energy build. This could easily be framed in the light of, look at how good art and cool our students are. Planets should come here. And then it's being manipulated behind the scenes by Kaisia and his team. And then they build a shell, they build all the structure, and Kaisia programs it to do whatever he wants. It could be that. It could be the Dean knows what's going on, and Kaisia is promised rich, fathomless riches and infinite protection under the stars.
Without fathom.
Without fathom.
Without fath.
And it could be as simple as that the Dean is being blackmailed by Kaisia to produce this. We don't know what their connection to this is, but it needs to be stopped. If you'd like to
Okay.
start at Iowa, that might be wise. We could send you a exchange student from our college on spaceship and set up for a traveling sort of a group to go there, and you can blend in with them.
We going to school?
It's like a bad anime season. It's the school arc.
It's the school arc. Oh my goodness.
B's like,
Do we get a beach episode soon?
oh my
No.
god, yes.
Everyone's gonna have to draw their characters but hot.
How do I make B? I don't think I can make B
Just
hot.
put boobs,
I don't think.
big boobs. That's it. That's all the fan service wants.
Oh my god.
Everyone gets boobs.
Exactly.
Everyone does.
Everyone.
Everyone.
Tex will find attachments.
These big old metal bonker. Like, actually, they're just missile heads.
Volcanic hooks.
They've got sharks drawn on them.
The astral elf stands up and she's like, well, I believe we are satisfied with this outcome. The rooms, as has been said to you, are prepared for a month. If you guys need longer stay, just let us know. That's all we need to know. We just have it set up for that time for now. We will have a ship. We will get a college group together. They will not know of what you're doing there. They will only know of they're going on an expedition to Iowa. And stop it. It's not Iowa. It's Iowa.
It's Iowa.
It's Iowa.
Look,
Iowa.
I've been calling it Iowa since the day we went there.
And so you guys basically, you're going to be given a ship, the students, and you're going to be basically their protectors or their guardians over the chaperones per se.
Cool.
And you're basically going to be going to Iowa to to figure out more information as a starting point.
Oh my god, it's even in a capitalist state. It is Iowa.
It's Iowa.
It's a city. It's not even a state.
What is
It's
it?
like one big city. It's like New York. Not much.
Ew.
Or actually, it's bigger than New York. I want to see actually if I have
I think
Well, how big is like the
Kaylin
massive
fell
college
asleep.
on Hone?
possibly.
Kaylin. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, she fell asleep. So, did you guys know that I can't say that word.
Statistically,
Yeah, speaking that you're more likely to get bitten by a New Yorker than a rat in New York.
That's funny.
I was
Alright,
aware
but,
of this. Yeah.
I can't. I know I sent an image a long time ago of Iowa with text on it to be fancy, and it would have told us when you guys went to Iowa, but I can't find it. But you guys, the elf, kind of just goes, well, if you would like, you can return to your chambers. We are going to set this up. It might take up to a week. If you guys have anywhere to be, feel free to leave and come to the station as much as you like. We've put your ship on our respected guest lists, so you will always have a place to dock here. There's protection in the inner sanctum that you are in. Let us know if you have any idea changes or need new items for the plan, and we will have Chasoth ordered to support you in this.
nice.
Chasoth is kind of in the back of the room, and she's just like,
Aiden.
"That's fine. What's up?"
How do we know that Lair and Bitch are connected? I don't remember his name.
So I believe it was when you were doing work with Fenatorath, Lair came down and spoke with you, and you learned that he talked about some of the plans Lair had, or something's happening in the city, and someone mentioned about being connected to Kaisir, and he said something on it. That was a long time
Okay.
ago, though. So
That
it
was
would
a
be
long time,
it'd be
yeah.
like Kulana and Copelia would be the only two that would really know.
Yep.
And
Well
Ace.
then, V wants to ask if she can figure out a way to do it. Ask Fawny about what Lair would want with a Dyson sphere. If all basically share to Fawny what's going on and see what their thoughts on her and how Lair might be connected.
How would you go about that?
I don't know.
If you can figure out a way to do that, sure.
I mean, we can just take a quick pit stop back at
It is a several day journey.
3 days.
Yeah, so you'd have to go there and go back, basically.
I mean, I bring that up to the parties. Like, we could ask that Fawny guy about this.
Would
I
you
know
guys
it's
like to
one
do that next time, where you go back to the place, speak with Fawny and them about the idea, the plan, and then go back?
Yeah.
Okay, we can do that
Sure.
next time then. That's how we'll
Yeah,
start
down
next
with that.
stream. But for now, it has been 2 hours, so that is where we're going to be ending stream.
I'm just gonna feeble
My
Cheese Man. He sounds like Queso, so I'm gonna call him Cheese Man.
Kaisir sounds like queso to you.
A little bit.
Okay,
I can see it.
sure. Yeah, let's go with it. But yeah, we're gonna be ending stream here. Thank
Probably
you guys
smells like Parmesan.
so much for watching.
Queso, you know.
I'm gonna end stream here because my brain hurts from this.
Probably smells
Uh,
like Parmesan.
Thank you all so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you follow. Watch in the future. Like to catch me live, go to cadenbop.com/socials, and you can find everywhere where I am. For now, though, I'll be ending stream. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.